I got 7 now.
So I'd like to call our regular council meeting of Tuesday, September 9th to order. We respectfully acknowledge that this meeting is being held on the traditional territory of the Quagga people, Yellowkessa. May I have approval of the agenda as presented? Council Tidbury, seconded by Council Dugas. All in favor? Carried. We have our minutes of the special council meeting held August 12th for adoption. Moved by Council Tidbury, seconded by Council Dorwood. We have our minutes of the regular council meeting held August 12th for adoption. Moved by Council Tidbury, seconded by Council Smith. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Carried. Delegations. May I call our Director of Financial Services, Darby Isaac, up, please? So Norma recently took part in the Strategic Financial Leadership Program. It's my absolute pleasure to recognize and celebrate Norma from the District of Port Hardy, who successfully completed this Government Finance Officers at BC Strategic Financial Leadership Program. The program emphasizes applied learning, service leadership, and personal growth. It's supported by peer collaboration, mentorship, and executive coaching. Participants strengthen their financial leadership competencies, preparing them to guide their organization with foresight, accountability, and resilience. Norma, you do that with such grace. Thank you. Norma's completion of this program reflects her commitment to professional excellence and leadership in financial governance. Her achievement will bring lasting benefits to the District of Port Hardy through enhanced planning, stronger resource alignment, and innovation in addressing financial challenges. On behalf of the district, we extend our heartfelt congratulations to Norma and thank her for her dedication to strengthening financial leadership in our community. Thanks. One more. Thank you.
Thank you, Norma.
Big brain.
Thank
you. So we also have Dr. Charmaine Inns, Medical Officer, Island Health, with her Ministry of Health report. And with Charmaine, she has some other representatives. We have Kevin Donick, Leslie Dick, and Rebecca Olson. So thank you all for coming.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor. Mayor, Council, citizens, staff, thank you very much for the opportunity to come to provide a medical health officer's report on the health population. My colleague, Dr. Kevin Donick, he is a resident in public health preventive medicine, so he's on track to become a medical health officer. So very happy to have him with me. So there's the slides. So it's okay if I'm looking at the slides while I'm talking.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Heather, I'm pressing. Yes.
Let's find it.
Should I go the down button? Okay, thank you. So I also want to recognize that we're meeting today on the home, in the home and on the homelands of the Quapaw people, and my gratitude for what they have, for what they share and what they offer, and the privilege of being able to be here to meet together. So thank you for that. Next slide. So I want to start off with this because most people don't understand who we are. Medical health officers are public health physicians, we're Royal College specialists, but more importantly, I bring this slide up because under legislation, we are intrinsically bound with you as local government, as elected officials. So I just want to emphasize we're partners. And we're partners with the same goal of improving the health and well-being of the people in the area from different perspectives, but we're in it together. And we have a legislative responsibility in our different roles and responsibilities that overlap quite a bit. So for myself as a medical health officer, I have that statutory authority under, most importantly, under the Public Health Act, but also a number of different pieces of legislation, all again to improve and monitor the health of the population. But as it relates to you as a local government, just to say, when I bring stuff forward that might not be comfortable, I'm not trying to make your life hard. I actually have a responsibility to advise in an independent manner to local government on issues that impact your population. So I'm just trying to do my job. Next slide. And how much I appreciate being able to do my job with you, because you also have a shared mandates under different legislation, but also under the Public Health Act and under the Community Charter, not only for good governance, but to also improve and monitor the health of your population and to make public health, and specifically to public health. But I want to say that you are far more powerful than any of us physicians or public health workforce, because every decision you make in local government impacts the health of your constituents. Every decision, no matter what the topic is, it impacts the health and well-being of your community. So I have a lot of gratitude for being able to do this with you. So let's talk about this area. So I'm going to talk specifically about Vancouver Island North, which is the local health area. But also, when I can, I'll talk about Port. I don't actually think I have too much data about Port Hardy. Population's too small. It gets really hard to separate it out. But the population size right now, based on the last census, is just over 11,500 people. Based on population projections, that's expected to decrease. But hey, that's in front of us. That can change. So, but based on projections, that's something we obviously want to be aware of. Right now, the demographic that's most represented in your population is between 20 to 44 years of age. And over the next 20 years, with that projected population decline, every age cohort is going to drop except the population over 65. So that's something for all of us to consider too. Yeah, so you can see that, I don't know about the rest of you, but my eyes is quite the same as they used to be. Yeah, so that population decline is about 16% of where you're at right now. There is 30% of the population identifies as Indigenous, which has a significant amount of strengths. And the median age of the population is about 43 years of age. Next slide, please. So based on just comparing the two census data from 2016 to 2021, I just wanted to show some improvements that are, again, worth celebrating. So of the people who identify as renters, tenants, that proportion of tenants that spend 30% or more of their income on housing has dropped from 40% to 23%. So that's a significant decrease, a positive decrease in the proportion of people that spend 30% or more of their income on renting. The median household income has gone up, but we all know that the cost of everything has gone up. So let's take that all in stride. And then about half of the population between 25 to 64 years of age has either a certificate, a diploma, or a degree that shows that they have a specific skill set due to training. Next slide, please. This is an important slide because the life expectancy at birth is an indicator that we all talk about quite a bit. Except life expectancy can be is very sensitive to deaths at younger ages. So when you have any proportion of a population, especially in a small population, deaths at a younger age will quickly tilt that life expectancy downwards. So, I mean, this is an indicator that's really important over time, to monitor it over time. And you can see that the life expectancy in this region compared to the rest of the island is about 6 years less. So, so of course, then we're all asking questions, well, why? What's influencing the life expectancy? So we can go to the next slide, please. And this is where we want to talk about potential years of life lost. And this is an important indicator because it measures or attempts to measure premature mortality. So death that happens before we expect it to. And we use the age of 75 as we all hope to live more than to 75, but for deaths that occur before the age of 75. So the younger you are, the more it weights to the potential years of life lost. So for this region, when you look at what's impacting that loss, that premature mortality, and then I compare it to the rest of BC, you can see that there's the potential years of life lost is almost 4 times higher for deaths due to motor vehicle crashes, 4 times higher as it relates to suicide, the 1.7 times for deaths related to accidental poisoning, and that does not include the drug poisoning crisis or alcohol, and 1.8 times higher for deaths related to accidental injuries. So I'm just going to, if we go to the next slide, I'm just going to use the motor vehicle crashes as an example where, we all know about the Swiss cheese model, right? And it just the example of when we know where there's something that's indicating or that's advancing premature mortality, we approach the problem from that multi-barrier approach, right? So that this is like the Swiss cheese where you have layers of protection, and the more layers of protection we all build in, so that every step, we consider every step is necessary, but no one step is sufficient. So the more steps we can add in, the more barriers that are reasonable, I want to make sure we all consider reasonableness, that we start to really reduce the likelihood of that negative outcome. So this is for creating safer roads. That's road design, safe road users. It's the speeds, it's the vehicles, it's our land planning, it's the post-crash care. It's all of those things. And the more of those layers we put in, the less likely we're going to have negative impacts. And this is true for almost every type of injury, and even for when we talk about strategies for suicide prevention. So just the creativeness that can go into mitigating and reducing these outcomes. Next slide. I want to just take a couple slides now to talk about alcohol consumption. I talk about this in every local government presentation because it is such an important factor in the health of the population. So alcohol, we now have new guidance in Canada that helps us understand the levels of where we need to be for informing consumers, where that consumption is now going to most likely result in negative outcomes. So we often talk about alcohol as in terms of the impacts on the individual. We don't talk enough about the impact of alcohol in our community and the environments that are created or we can create as it relates to consumption. Why consumption is important is because the increasing alcohol consumption is directly related to alcohol harms, both for the individual, but also for the larger community. And so when we look at consumption, we now know based on our new alcohol guidance that once you have more than 7 drinks, standard drinks a week, you are tipped into the severe increased risk, the high likelihood of negative health outcomes. We're talking about cancer risks, chronic diseases, really significant individual health outcomes. This is not based on influences in the community or your family. So consumption for the population age 15 and over in British Columbia averages 9.2 drinks, standard drinks a week. That's already over the 7 drinks. When you look at Island Health, we're over 12 drinks a week for everybody age 15 and over. You'll notice 15 is less than the legal drinking age. And for Vancouver Island North, it's almost 17 average. So when we look at all of BC, more than 50% of the BC population is drinking more than 7 drinks a week. This is important because we have not sufficiently grasped the health impacts of alcohol. We have normalized alcohol to the point where it is so much a part of how we celebrate, how we communicate, how we connect. We kind of factor in as a given. I think we need to really start challenging those narratives, and we need to not blame the individual. We need to start creating more healthy environments and taking all of our tools across all the different layers of how we engage in community to reduce the likelihood that people are going to consume. But we haven't fully understood or appreciated the cancer impacts. So if in 2022, 20%, 21 in 5 deaths in Canada are directly attributable to cancer. That's a significant contribution to cancer rates, and it's all preventable. Next slide, please. So for this area specifically, for Vancouver Island North, I just want to draw your attention to the dark purple bar, which is the hospital rate for citizens within Vancouver Island North to the hospital directly related to alcohol. And the light, it's pink, it's gray, it's the third bar. That's the rate within this region for Vancouver Island North citizens directly related to opioids. The substance of concern, the psychoactive substance of concern within the region is alcohol. Yeah, and then the darker blue beside the purple is for all of the rest of Vancouver Island in terms of hospitalization rates. I just want you to know you're not an outlier for this. This graph looks very similar to Alberni West Coast, which I'm also the medical health officer for right now. So, next slide, please. So then when it comes to your role as local government, just to highlight, you have some really powerful tools in that denormalizing at the community level. And I really appreciate the conversations that you're having and you've had. I just want to highlight 3 particular levers from the with low effort and maybe lower impact to higher effort with higher impact. The first being a municipal alcohol policy. The second being liquor license policies, especially LCRB application processes. Third, the community alcohol strategy, which is a much more comprehensive, longer term, inclusive plan for what's our priorities, what's our values, what do we want to see in our community across all the sectors and represented population, and coming up with a strategy. All of these things about alcohol, or any of the things we talk about today, I am so happy to come back and talk about more fully if you would like, with more data. I'm going to now hand it over to Dr. Donek for the last few slides.
All right, yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm going to talk about some of the indicators of child and youth health, which are really important because they can be predictors of population health across the lifetime. So the first one is smoking during pregnancy. Now, this is important not only for kind of short-term immediate health outcomes like infant mortality, which is a very tragic and negative outcome, but it also can affect longer-term outcomes like childhood asthma and respiratory infection rates, which are directly attributable to smoking during pregnancy. And you can see here on the graph for Vancouver Island North, the rates are higher, significantly higher than the rest of the province and Island Health as a whole. But I do want to highlight that the rate is declining actually much more rapidly than the other parts of the island and the province, which is a positive trend that is encouraging. Next slide, please. Another indicator is early childhood development. Now, this one is really important because it kind of sets the stage for lifelong learning, well-being, and health. And the early development instrument is measured during the kindergarten year. And it looks at 5 domains that are seen on the right of the slide. And the graph on the left looks at the percentage of kindergarten children that are rated as being vulnerable on one or more of those domains. And you can see Vancouver Island North has actually been declining in recent years, which is a positive trend. So it is now just slightly above the average for Vancouver Island and for the province, which is good. And on the top right, you see one particular domain, which is emotional development, where Vancouver Island North is actually better than the island average and just right around that provincial average. So that's one of the strengths of the community. Next slide, please. The next slide is from the Youth Adolescent Health Survey, which is children or youth that are the ages 12 to 19. And this one is specific to School District 85. And it looks at positive social factors that help to buffer some of the negative experiences that children suffer. They're known as adverse childhood experiences. And I really want to draw your attention to the bottom right figure, which is the percentage of children or of youth that have at least one adult in their community that they feel care about them. Now, this is a really strong protective factor for youth. And this percentage, 84%, is actually quite a bit above the provincial average and above the Island Health average, which again is a really strong strength of Vancouver Island North that you see in this community and other rural communities. Okay, next slide, please. The final one I'm going to touch on is the high school completion rate. Now, this is another important predictor of lifelong health. And you can see Vancouver Island North, the rate of high school completion has been declining ever since the pandemic, and it is quite a bit below the BC and island averages. However, one of the reasons that is contributing to this is we are seeing a lot more youth that are leaving school early, around at the end of grade 11, in order to pursue full-time employment, often for financial reasons and financial pressures. So the school district is aware of this trend, and they have taken multiple steps in order to address this and try to increase rates of high school completion to help give those youth that education they need to succeed on the long term. So something that they are aware of. All right, I'm gonna pass it back to Dr. Inns to go over some of our key messages.
Yeah, so just to wrap it up, there's some socioeconomic indicators that are improving, some are showing encouraging trends. There's decreasing and lower life expectancy, and this is I just want to emphasize this is driven by preventable factors. So why that should give us that's the opportunity we have collectively for intervention, right? So the trajectory can be reversed. The psychoactive substances related to harms are high. That's not a good news story, especially related to alcohol, and alcohol related harms are directly related to consumption. And then lastly, supporting early childhood development lays the groundwork for lifelong health and well-being. So every effort and all actions that invest in kids, especially the early years, less than 5, and then as our kids they go through the school years, every intervention, every action is adding to their life and in a very positive way. And that's the story we're bringing today. And we're very happy if there's any questions or comments.
I've just got a small one. I've noticed a big increase in vaping now,
Yes.
especially when I go from the high school down driving that way. I see a lot of, especially females, more than males, vaping. And that concerns me.
It concerns us as well. There has been, again, another industry story, a very intentional story from the industry that vaping is a harm reduction intervention tool. It's not, especially for youth. And we know that most youth who vape and smoke cigarettes, and the vaping is still nicotine. So the impacts of vaping are not fully understood yet, so I just don't want us to be naive about that. Vaping is a big concern for us. And the industry has been very, very good at all of the loopholes. So we're going backwards. I just wanted to say your concern is completely justified. In any ideas you have, we're open to them. Because it's a very challenging environment.
Councillor Tidbury, thank you for bringing that up, and thank you, Dr. Charmaine, for saying that as well. I have friends that want to quit vaping and they can't even reduce the nicotine amount. It's 20 milligrams. I think a cigarette is way lower. It's
Usually
like 3 or
3 to
2 or 1, yeah, like low, and they can't even reduce it to help them. And nicotine is a beast.
It's highly addictive.
Highly addictive. And so I don't know if there's anything we can do, but you used to be able to buy 0, like 1, like all the lower ones, and now you can't. So they've really got a hook.
They have a hook, and we also have this unmanageable problem of online purchasing. So they're not purchasing through stores. There isn't the quality control. There's been, flavors added, a lot of social marketing. So you can order anything you want and get it in the mail.
Mhm.
Very, very hard to manage.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. And it's sort of stark reminder of our situation. I think we've all known around the table here that alcohol is an issue in our community, certainly on the North Island, but very much in our community as well. I have to say, as a retired teacher, I'm a little shocked at the completion rates. So the trend was going a different way for a while. So it it opens our eyes a little bit. However, having said that, I know that our council and Island Health, and I know Rebecca and Leslie are here, and we see them regularly, are working on community efforts to try and mitigate some of the issues, and they're not easily mitigating issues. So while the problems are quite stark in their presentation, that we are all aware of it and we are all working towards it.
Yes.
But I guess there's more that we can do, and so it would be good to engage further in some further discussions on that as well. And I know Pat is a part of a group that is hopefully on a track to try and mitigate some of them as well. So anyway, thank you for this, and it's
Can I comment on the school completion?
please do, yeah.
But first of all, I want to say, I think you guys have a wonderful school district superintendent.
Yeah.
The efforts that are happening, the school though, and the school district is just one of many in a community for kids.
Mhm.
So, I also don't want to underestimate the impacts of the pandemic on our youth.
Mhm.
So that kept them at home. They were doing virtual learning, but they weren't really learning. They still got promoted, but they weren't ready to be promoted. The negative impacts, especially on that age cohort, that
Mhm.
school aged and early 20s, kids and, also in post-secondary, really profound. It's going to take us at least a decade or more to undo some of what happened. So I think that downward trend is because one, this is a small population, so the variability is very,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
stark, in your words, on a graph, when the island and the BC numbers are very robust, so you don't see the fluctuations like you do in a small population. So I just want to say it's probably not as bad as it looks compared to BC and the island, because of the small number compared to the big number. So small changes make big change,
Yeah.
big.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I do think, I do think the opportunity to collectively, what it means to support and ensure success for youth, which starts in early childhood. Any and all efforts in that will make a difference. And we can't just expect the school system to do that.
No, fair enough. And we've been supportive of, and I know a lot of people at this table have worked towards seeing the foundry established
Yes.
in Fort Hardy, and it's in the process
Yes.
of expanding, and it's new and it's expanding, and it's having more success
Yes.
as month over month. So we look
agree.
towards that and other initiatives that are here as well. But thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Great report. Not fun, but really good and well presented. So this is presented to all the local governments in the North Island?
You're my first to give this presentation. Yeah, okay, yes.
Well, my next question was, I just assumed that it was. My
Before I put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, is it also presented to the First Nations governments as well?
So, no. So I don't normally get that opportunity to do that because I don't have disaggregated data. And most of the population is not Indigenous.
But just the aggregate data, just the same presentation.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, I just thought,
It'd
I
be-
think it'd be really valuable for everyone.
And you know what, and I think the partnerships, you know, over the last, so many more conversations are happening as a result of the recent state of emergency, right? And so those conversations are very rich and, there's been some really, really wonderful initiatives and work that have come out of those collaborations. So, I need to be invited
Mhm.
to have the conversation.
And then I had another question, I don't remember what it was. It might come back to me if anybody else has questions.
I just had a couple comments, so thank you very much, Charmaine and Kevin, for coming and doing the presentation. One of them in there about creating safer roads.
Yes.
So when you did the presentation and did all the statistics, were those the roads north of Campbell River, or are those the roads just around Port Hardy? Like,
Those are roads within Vancouver Island North. That potential years of life lost due to motor vehicle crashes is specific to Vancouver Island North.
okay, so then we can bring that up with the Ministry of Transportation about because I suspect, I mean, we all know we have fatalities surrounding us, but there's all of us have been driving when someone has passed us on a double solid line going around a corner, and then all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh.
Not the road.
This is not what- Then another car comes and you think, who's going to,
Yeah.
who's going to be not making it home tonight? But so we can talk about more passing lanes and more signage and more main road in the winter time, the ice in the roads and stuff like that.
So you bring up the very valuable point is that your intervention is based on the data, right? It's based on the evidence. So then who can inform you the best way where the crashes are happening? And is it in the urban centers? Is it on the highways? Is it in what season? Because then your intervention is specific
Mhm.
to the evidence
Mhm.
or the data, right? So exactly, because you don't want to be putting efforts into something that's not the issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Then the other one is, and you're right, you need to be invited in to be able to do this presentation. Rebecca and myself and our CAO are part of, a group that meets, that we can bring some of this data in and some of this information in. And on some of the discussions we're having about the Liquor Control Board and things like that. So we're in discussion about trying to make a difference.
Yes.
So we are at greater than 7 drinks a week with the high negative health outcomes is a pretty stark reminder, not just for those of us that social drink, but everybody. And having that kind of information out. It's not hard to have 7 drinks.
Well, and it takes far less than that for women to be at increased risk for breast cancer. So for us, for women, because the alcohol concentrates in fat, breasts are mainly fat. So, that, you know, there's many physiological reasons why women have higher rates of negative outcomes from alcohol. We don't often want to talk about that. But yeah, so breast cancer goes up significantly at far fewer drinks.
I don't like statistics, but not.
I don't like nice-
I don't be a dumb, and I'm not a prohibitionist, so. I just want you to have the facts, informed consumption, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Ince, thank you very much for the presentation. It was enlightening in more than one way. But a question I did have, when you guys talk about Vancouver Island North, are you talking about WAS North?
So Vancouver Island North is, your LHA 85, yeah, it's a school, like famous school district 85.
Okay, so that covers that.
Yeah, so So there's three areas. There's the Port Hardy, Port Alice, McNeil, Sontula, and then the rest. So when you look at, could you go back to slide, Heather, could you go back to slide, is it 3,
It's three.
4?
It's 3 or 4.
5, I think.
There's a little bit of a mouth there.
Yeah.
3. Oh, maybe 4. Keep talking.
So it includes WAS,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So. just
but that's
lost
counted,
north, 95.
removed, removed.
Remote, yeah.
And it also,
You call it anything you want.
And I didn't have anything to drink.
it also includes a significant portion of the Central Coast as well,
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, it does,
traditional territory.
but very unpopulated.
Yeah.
Extraordinarily unpopulated, some of
Yeah.
it being forced to be unpopulated over time, but that's a different
Mhm.
report.
There,
That one there.
that's the one,
Mhm.
yes. Number 5, yes.
Yeah, right.
Can you make it big?
I'm trying.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Well, that's being expanded. Just, I remembered my other part of my comment was, or question comment,
Thank you.
I've anecdotally, of course, noticed that the young people are drinking less.
Yes, okay, I wanted to actually
Can we
highlight that.
study that? And
So actually, even in the McCreary report, there's a good proportion of youth reporting decreased, let's see, from 2018 to 2023, it was a 6% drop in those who had ever tried. The
Right.
question is, have you ever tried alcohol? It's not even about
Mhm.
regular consumption. So that is we're seeing that as a consistent trend across the younger demographic.
Yeah, do we
So
know
the
why?
average consumption is
Right.
actually happening in the older demographic.
Right,
Mhm.
right. But do we know what has created those impacts in the youth, and can we make more of that?
You know, I think well, I'm gonna speculate a bit. I don't think we really understand it,
Mhm.
first of all. And secondly, they influence each other.
Right.
And they're far more health conscious. They're also very interested in the facts and science, in spite of a lot of our conspiracy theories that are out there. The youth are pretty sharp, right? They're smart. They want to be healthy,
Right.
and they realize that good decisions aren't made when they're impacted, and they're actually putting themselves at risk and other people at risk. So I think and you know what, like, so we're seeing that reflected in craft brewing becoming threatened in terms of some having to shut down, and sales are down, and so we know that consumption across the demographic is happening, but it's not enough to impact the general population consumption. So they're going to benefit from that reduced consumption.
Good, and interesting that it looks
Yes, I
like they're
should have-
drinking less than that they are.
And that's true for your youth here in the area as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Do you think
Thank you.
our recreation programs, because now we've expanded our recreation programs in great numbers lately.
Fantastic.
Do you think that's assisting in?
It all makes a difference, a positive difference.
Yeah.
I congratulate you for doing that. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Thank our recreation staff.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Megan.
Yeah, and especially when access is easy and if it's
And very
especially free.
Yes.
So we know from other models and other jurisdictions that when youth have a sense of connection, a sense of belonging, that somebody cares that I'm not here, they notice I'm not here, that they're busy, that they've got, sports or music or drama or something to do, and they're valued. For example, there's something called the Icelandic model, where Iceland was having some significant problems with youth and substance use. And they basically, because they're a small population, could almost make sure their youth all had to do something after school. So nobody was bored. And they pretty much dropped their initiation of substance rates down to 0. So,
Well,
but it was far beyond the school. The school is the hub, but it was a collective across all the agencies and the whole population, and basically on ensuring that youth were busy and connected and had a reason to go to those things.
Wow.
Mhm.
I just have one more question. You made a comment about there's more than just, school district 85 for grade 12.
Sorry, what did I say?
That there was more than just school district 85 for grade 12
What was
for the
the,
high school completion.
oh, maybe we didn't say that correctly.
That data was, yeah, just school district 85. I
That,
believe.
this,
No, that's the whole LHA, but
Thi-
it's,
This is Vancouver Island North,
Yeah.
so that's school district 85.
Yeah,
So that data
okay.
was specific to school district 85.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sorry if we were.
All right, maybe I misheard it too.
It could be us.
Oh, good.
Any other questions?
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. for
Thank you
having
very
us.
much.
Yes.
And
Thanks for
you're
coming.
welcome to stay for our meeting, but you're also, if you wanted to slide out, that's also.
We wouldn't want to offend anybody if
No.
we item. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The majority do.
What, slide out? Or I thought you were gonna say are offended.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Only one glass of wine, no?
Unless you've had 6 already.
Yeah, you quoted it.
All right, business arising, we have our council action item report, August 12th for information. Any comments?
Short.
Short, but
Yeah, it's one page.
did want to highlight for the audience that, our archaeological permit for Beaver Harbor Trailer Park has been granted. It's only taken
Years.
almost 3 years. Only taken numerous emails and phone calls and, but it has been granted, so we're just waiting a response from the state. And we should, a CAO,
No, I just wanted to highlight one other item.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. There was an item in there where we were referring it back to staff, the recommendation from the Tourism Advisory Committee on the Quatsi to get more information as to what the nights entailed. And you cannot book online for a night to stay there during that day. So if you were coming in on the ferry, you wouldn't be able to go online and do that, but you could go to the campground or you could call in order to get that. And there is no requirement for the 2-night stay. It used to be a 3-night stay. There's no.
Mhm.
Excellent. So you can just book for one night? Awesome, thank you. We have our 4th edition of the District Connection for information. Any comments?
Awesome.
Awesome. Report. It's crazy.
I want to thank our CAO for putting it together and, really summarizing very effectively what's going on in the different departments and it's great.
Yeah, awesome.
We have under correspondence from Karen Zoffman, Hardy Bay Senior Society. Letter of support for the New Horizons grant application.
I like that motion.
No
Moved by
second.
Council Duguay, second by Council Smith. All in favor?
Worthwhile project.
Mhm.
The amount of work that the Hardy Bay Senior Society is doing, it's very impressive. We have from Kathy Wilson, Manager, Wallachsta Healing Center, Wasalla, Methodist Health Services regarding the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, Every Child Matters March, and Sheriff Park Use Request for September 30th. Just a comment, we have the parade permit, and so they'll be starting at the,
Let's go.
they'll be starting at Thunderbird, parking lot I saw on that permit, or are they gonna start at the high school?
Thunderbird, on the permit.
See, it's just not very long. Occasional for me.
So I just wanted to make sure that
Oh, that's changed.
it's changed so that they're fine with that.
That's in their application. That's what they submitted. We didn't have the changes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's right there.
I'll make motion to approve, but I do have a question for staff.
I'll second.
Does staff have any concerns with this request?
Given that this is our third year, going into it, this has been happening, and the extra work that Kathy always puts into making sure that everything is organized really well. In fact, we've got our invitation right now to be able to be part of the group as well, so we can sit in on that and provide any comments and staff have any concerns.
All in favor? Okay, thank you. We have from Steve Woods, Divisional Manager Facilities, Vancouver Island Regional Library, regarding a change in library branch hours for information. So they manage their own security, right? Yeah, it just with, that our support is requested by reviewing any procedures that we have. But, so, we're okay then. We have from Jay Chaffee, Ombudsman, Province of BC, quarterly report, June 1st to June 30th for information.
Mhm.
When I first started reading it, I was a little nervous, but then when I went through it,
Yeah.
okay, we're okay.
When I read the last page, I thought they were talking about us, but I think they're talking about the whole province.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it doesn't clearly say, it says like in your sector or something like that. It doesn't totally clearly say that it's,
Yeah.
Yes,
not
Yeah.
for her.
not for her,
We like the end.
but it's so important that we have an ombudsman that
Mhm.
people can phone up or talk to and find out the business process.
Yeah.
We have from Trish Mandeo, President UBCM, Canada Community Building Fund, First Community Works Fund payment for 25-26. Information.
Mhm.
We'll be going
We're
into
happy about
budget
that.
pretty soon, so we will be talking about it further. Yeah. And that it's very broad what it can deal with.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Opens it up a bit.
We have our draft committee, the community consultative committee held June 15th for information. Anything that should be brought forward? Us? No points? We're all good. We have our draft minutes of the policy and governance committee meeting held August 12th for information. And there's a recommendation that the policy and governance committee recommend to council that the code of conduct policy be adopted.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Oh,
What?
sorry, see.
Okay, I made an error, on the proper to replace code of conduct section 1.13. This one actually replaces 6.13 and not 1.13.
Ooh,
Good catch.
With
So the
catch.
new number will be 6.1.
6.3.
Okay, thank you.
Live with that.
So Councillor Dugan
Yeah.
moved it, seconded by Councillor Tidbury. So just for everybody's information, this code of conduct policy, if you haven't read it from the agenda, it covers volunteers, it will be covering, employees and contractors. The council already has a code of conduct at the time when they become councillors and mayors. Do we have a mover and seconder? All in favor? And the other recommendation is that the policy and governance committee recommend to council that the council refer the short-term vacation rental guidelines to the community consultative committee for review and recommendation.
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Councillor Dugan, second by Councillor Tidbury. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Do you want to just make a comment with regards to why it's going to that? Because it's something that's gonna affect the community, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to bring it further than just to this table to discuss.
All right, we have our draft minutes of the Bear Smart Committee meeting held August 19th for information. So one thing about the Bear Smart Committee, when you read the minutes, there's a big concern about getting volunteers to be on the Bear Smart Committee.
Mhm.
And so anyone out there that's watching the next video or is in this room with interest in being a volunteer. Not a tough gig, but it's an important one. Our community is a Bear Smart committee or community, and we want to keep it.
And it's been impactful too. It's had an effect on the community.
Yes, absolutely.
I just want to point out, thank you for your work on it, Councillor Smith, but it saves bears' lives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe there's some people out there that don't understand what Bear Smart means, but at its heart, it means saving the lives of bears.
And it's up to the responsibility of the community to make that happen.
Exactly. So then getting the community to do the things that,
Keep them safe.
that's right.
Yeah.
Keep the bears being problem bears.
From our finance department, our check and EFT listings are in the report. Questions, comments? Norrie? Okay. Our CAO Heather Nelson Smith, regarding the CAO report to council, January to June 2025. CAO Nelson Smith,
Does anybody have any questions for us?
been doing a lot.
I can't wait till the next report. It was really hard writing this report, knowing all of the stuff that we did throughout July and August, so. So it's hard to hold back and not do those things, but just to highlight some of the strategic priorities that the council has set for us. We have been doing a lot of work when it comes to the social and housing and community well-being with the integrated community task force. We've got the Sonoma Culturally Support Housing Project, we're also working with BC Housing on a number of two of those projects that are happening within the town. Council has been advocating heavily and staff has been supporting them in advocating for a 24/7 emergency room in Port Hardy, and it's been top of mind obviously for 2.5 years. In terms of like economic and community growth and retention, of course, we had the wonderful street market that happened in August, but there was a lot of pre-funding that went into that in order to get that going. The skate park, soft opening, and then the grand opening in July. Of course, I'll get to highlight all of this again. In terms of environment and infrastructure sustainability, we've had a ton of achieved milestones, including the reservoir coming online, and the wastewater centrifuge project replacement, ensuring long-term wastewater and water resilience. We also secured BC Hydro regreening funding and Vision Zero infrastructure upgrading funding to be able to look at some of our intersections. And in terms of culture and partnerships, we've completed our we've completed our first round of Indigenous specific anti-racism training, reinforcing our commitment, as well as support for community events such as Pride, Wounded Warrior Run, and other community events that highlighted cultural support in the community. So in terms of council's vision and the things that council wanted us to do, that's a summary of it. Thank you.
Great photos too in there. I like the one of the staff there.
I do want to say that was actually, we had a staff party in February to celebrate both Employee Appreciation Day. That was the most attended staff function I've been at in 10 years of working for the district already. I just think that the momentum and the drive of the staff that are working for us now, and just the fact that everybody's willing to come together and have a little bit of fun, bouncing in a bouncy castle and eating some candy and having a good time, even though it's only an hour out of our day, it just helps to build that team structure. And I think council should be proud of the team that's working under you to support your team.
I just have one comment, and I don't know, maybe in your next report, you could add into it. And it's a success for what we've done is we've got the new water reservoir on. We got it on before we expected it to. we've only had level 1 restrictions all year long or up in the regular season. Last year, we were up to level 3 and we were worried about going to level 4. And I think that it's a gold star. And I think that should be really highlighted to the community and just a reminder that we're saving water. We've been in drought, minimal rainfall, and you're only in level 1. And what a win this is by having that new reservoir on.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that should be highlighted. And one of my neighbors was talking to me the other day and she goes, about level 1. And I said, I didn't think anyone had noticed. And she had noticed it. She goes, because I can still wash my car when I want to wash my car.
Mhm.
And, but I'm not sure if everybody else is just, it's just, I can do what I want to do. And anyways, just an idea. We have no current bylaws or resolutions. We have 2 pending bylaws. The bylaw number 1181-2025 zoning bylaw amendment, so short-term vacation rentals. And bylaw number 1182-2025 zoning bylaw amendment, shipping containers. So they'll be coming up and there will be a public hearing about them next week. Council reports. Councilor Tidbury.
Not very much because it's the summertime and I'm basically on the road to Hobart. But I did attend the OCP and there was some good input there from individuals on the little table that I was sat at, which was kind of neat. I thought the report was very good. Personally, I think it was good information, and I'm glad we got it out. Well, it's pretty close.
That's it.
That's it, John?
Yep, that's it.
Councilor Dennis.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I had the opportunity with the mayor to go to Regional District of Mount Washington meeting. As all the challenges are within the RD is still trying to get staff. It seems to be a big issue everywhere to get staff to replace people that have left. And they're still in that process, but it looks promising, I believe, in the future. We had an opportunity, I know the mayor and I, we keep bringing it up all the time about park situations, and we were talking about the North Coast. I guess the San Joe area and some of the concerns with regards to what's going on there. It's a very popular area, obviously now, and the people that are going there are probably not using it to the extent that we would like to see them use it and protecting it to the where we'd like to see it be protected. And we also always talk about Tex Lion, and hopefully we're gonna get some movement with regards to that when we go down to talk to the ministers with regards to the parks and see what more they can do with regards to staffing it up at the north end of the island and also getting in some help to try to mitigate that issue down there, the Tex Line Trail with regards to access, right? That little bridge situation. GNN, we had a meeting with Chief and Council with the Glassell Network Nation. Well, that was excellent. It was great to get together, and I think it's very important that we continue to do that as we develop relationships on issues that we both are concerned about and we want to mitigate. So I thought that was awesome. The street market was incredible. I really enjoyed that.
That was in this period.
Yeah, and it was really well attended. And I thought what I was really happy to see, there was a lot of families there with their kids and stuff. So yeah, I think that we keep moving in that direction and have more things there for kids and draw the families out. I think that'll be great. Great job. Thank you for our group that put that together. That was really, really good. North Island Seniors Housing Foundation, we're still having our ongoing meetings with the province to talk about hopefully getting our seniors housing care for seniors, elders, and those with disabilities in the North Island, so. That's ongoing, we're still waiting, we put our application in, we're still waiting for the province to see what they have to say, but we haven't heard anything yet, and I don't think we're gonna hear anything till probably UBCM maybe, who knows? We know that that's gonna be a hot topic, housing is a hot topic in the whole province, so, you know, that we're just one community that's looking for something that we need, and we're not the only ones in the province, so hopefully we'll get something here in the near future, so thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I missed a couple of meetings, so I'll kind of run through the summer a little bit. July Philomi Days, we had lots of meetings in July, and I thought Philomi Days went very well this year. July 27th, the skate park opening, that was pretty incredible. And then I was on vacation from August 1st to the 18th, so I wasn't in Wi-Fi and missed the August meeting. August 19th, attended the Bear Smart meeting. And in there, if I could just bring up in the minutes, it talks about a Lomi giveaway. So if we do have people, kind of the best way to learn is by neighbor to neighbor, friend to friend. That's how we get our information. And we have a Lomi giveaway campaign going on right now. So if you can sort of showcase what you're doing to be Bear Smart to help save our bears, you could win a Lomi, which is incredible, and it makes dirt out of scrap, kitchen scrap. So it's pretty awesome. And so I think that's going until December, I think we had decided. So lots of time to help educate community members on being Bear Smart, and then you get to win an incredible prize. Attended a meeting for Port Hardy Heritage Society on August 20th, August 22nd, the Port Hardy Night Market. Absolutely incredible. I agree. It was neat to see all the families out. What a neat event. The vibe was incredible. It was vibrant. The downtown core, sort of what we want to do and we've always talked about. So I'm excited for future night markets. I thought that was fantastic too. August 24th was Port Hardy Farmers Market. August 28th, we had our CCC meeting. We did the OCP review. The OCP is very clear and it's going to be a good tool for staff to use, a good umbrella kind of guiding the vision of the community. And the September 3rd, as Councillor Tidbury said, was the open house for the OCP. And we're still gathering information from the community. So this is a community-driven document that we still are needing feedback on. So I hope that people do take the time and review it. It's a good document so far, but we still need that valuable community input. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So yeah, I too attended the evening market, and like everybody said, it was really fantastic. It felt really cozy and vibrant, and really enjoyed a lot big variety, something for everyone there. And yeah, great work by the contractor Jolie White on organizing that. I did the meeting with the Guasalanaquata Chief and Council, and yeah, that was important to talk about lots of shared community concerns. Yeah, I think it was good for everybody. And then I was out of town when the OCP public meeting happened, but I did hear some feedback, and they really liked the format that it was in. They said it was really casual. It wasn't just where you sit and get a presentation. They said it was, yeah, nice and informal and an easy way to share their feedback, like a very comfortable way to share their feedback. So I thought that was important because I think sometimes people are intimidated if they have to be put on the spot. That was, however it was held, sounds like it was good. And I just wanted to remind council that this Sunday is the Terry Fox Run. Port Hardy is one of the host communities, and in several of the past years, we've all run off to UBCM and haven't been able to attend, but I hope you're all here and I hope to see you all down there. It's 1 kilometer, or 5 kilometer walk or run. You don't have to get pledges or anything. You just show up. You can make a personal donation if you wish. You could also volunteer and help me out if you don't want to move or are unable to.
For the cemetery crowd.
There are opportunities galore. No, Terry Fox is a true Canadian hero. It's in support of cancer research. Cancer affects us all in one way or another. And yes, I hope to see you all and all of you as well.
Did you have t-shirts to sell?
I have t-shirts for sale. I should have brought them here tonight.
Yes, you should have.
Yes, but if you let me know, give me a size, I will contact you with $30.
Yeah, I'm a medium.
We'll get you up. Okay, that's it for me.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, I was at the meeting with Costa Nocta, and I thought it was great, and you know, part of their initiative. And what I actually really quite liked about it was there were a couple of issues that could have been sticking issues that could have been caused a bit of friction between town and you know, our local government and theirs. And it was a venue and an opportunity to kind of talk through them, which we did. And so there are common issues that we were concerned about that we were able to sort of get some direction on. And I thought it was just a good event and healthy sort of thing in terms of more communication is better than less. I was able to also attend the OCP rolling out, and it was good comments, relaxed atmosphere, and well done. Give people the opportunity for input, and I know the input that some of the people that I heard from, just talking randomly, people were, a couple of comments were the availability of commercial property. And it's an interesting comment, one to keep in mind. And I'm be interested to see what some of the sticky notes are at the end of the day and see what was there. And just one sort of serendipitous little meeting that I bumped into somebody from the visitor center. And she was commenting on how busy they were over the summer and having 150 people a day come in and visit. And it was just, that's exciting. That's, you know, it's, they were really busy. And then now getting into the shoulder season, it maintains its steadiness sort of thing. So that was actually really interesting to hear and to listen to about the community. So anyway,
So, I went to the RD meeting with Councillor Dugas and different talks, and one of the talks we talked was signage going up to Holberg and making sure people are aware about how to drive on the roads and stuff like that. And logging trucks have the right of way and drive with both the front and the back lights. And so I kind of got a bit of pushback saying, oh, there is lots of signage on there. And I thought, And then I went to Grant Bay 2 days later or 3 days later, and I was specifically looking for the signage, which I didn't find. And so our CAO is drafting something, because even though it's regional district, I feel pretty strongly that the majority of people think it's part of Port Hardy.
Yeah.
And so if we can get some signage out there, and then if the regional district takes it over, or Vancouver Island North wants to do something more, that's great, but we need to have something down. Ninth Street Market was great. Our contractor Jolie and our CAO really made magic happen for our town and others that came from out of town. One of the locals said to me, for 18 years, she's been wanting a market on Market Street, and she finally had it. And I just thought, absolutely, it's great that it's happening. Our farmers market is just getting new vendors all the time. It's the only market on the North Island that does a coupon program with BC Farmers and Artisans Market. And those coupons are used for nutrient-rich products. People have to sign up for them, and they're being used. And we've been really pushing with our planning group, Council Smith's on the planning group too, pushing to have more vendors that are selling, even if they're backyard gardeners, bringing their produce to sell it, and they are. And it's wonderful. Before, it was just a couple people selling their produce, and now there's 4 or 5 people. So it's really, really nice to see that happening. Attended the Integrated Community Safety Forum with a number of different agencies and looking at trying to make our community safer. Attended the Overdose Awareness Day sponsored by the Qualia Health Center and Auntie's Kitchen, and it was very well attended. And I mean, we've got sad statistics, and we've had the state of emergency, and just reminding people that be prepared, don't do drugs alone, and then be aware of your surroundings. At our monthly BC Housing Pinella check-in, and that moving forward, the meeting with the Guasala Naquita elected chief and council, as others have stated, was very, very good in talking about mutual concerns and how we can work together. Make things better for everybody. The OCP open house, as others have said, it was good. Lots of information, and there's more feedback that's coming in online. So anyone that wasn't able to attend can still submit and bring forward their suggestions. But right now it's just a draft, and we want to have it formalized. I've had my regular meetings with Island Health, again advocating for 24/7. I've sent a letter in to the Minister of Health as well, asking for a timeline to get back 24/7, or at least maybe extend the hours a little bit. So we'll see. And again, we're meeting with the Minister of Health at UBCM, and that is one of the major topics on it. And I attended the Mount Wellington Fall Fair, and it's always fun to go down to that and see what people are growing. And those of you that know me, I like to go garlic. And I had to look at this one person's entry, and I didn't enter anything because I was sick. They had a garlic. It was huge. I wouldn't have. And that's it for me. All right, you can see under information and announcements, there's lots of things coming up, and part of it is because we don't have a meeting. September 24th would be the 24th. So just a reminder of all the different things that are coming up in the next little while. Okay. Oh, I did want to point out about the public hearing, September 16th at 6 o'clock on the 2 bylaw amendments. Notice of in camera, none right now, and motion to adjourn. Councilor Smith. Oh, Councilor Tickler.
No, I wasn't.
So questions pertaining to the agenda.